and welcome to Across the Fence. I'm Jolie Whitney. It's a fact that early childhood education is critical when it comes to getting good grades, to completing high school, and everything in between. The National Science Teachers Association reports that learning science and engineering practices in the early years of life can foster a child's curiosity and enjoyment in exploring the world around them and set the foundations to learning and retaining scientific and mathematical concepts from kindergarten through high school. One of the missions of Vermont 4-H has been to use hands-on learning to put the power of learning and teaching science in the hands of Vermont's high school students. In a moment, we'll talk with a woman who leads 4-H teen and leadership programs. First, let's have some fun among the stars with kids of all ages at a recent 4-H Science Fun Day.
3, 2, 1.
So today we have the 4-H Science Ambassadors hosting a Science Fun Day. And what's really exciting about having teens teach science to younger students is it really gets the younger students excited about science. They see the teens as their role models, and by having the teens teaching, it gets these younger students more excited seeing that these older youths also value science, and it's a great way to just get science education and science literacy out in the communities. And we use our teen science ambassadors to help do that science outreach in the communities. It's a super fun day, and we're really excited that we have the opportunity to do this. The 4-H Science Ambassadors spend the entire school year as ambassadors. They have two roles. They host science cafes, which are once a month, Saturday nights, where we bring in different science presenters for middle and high school students to really see different science pathways that you can take if you're interested in science.
So we're science ambassadors. I've been doing this for this is my second year doing it. And my favorite part about it is just translating my love of science to the kids, and just it's really rewarding seeing them have fun and learn about things that I love learning about too.
We're here at a Science Fun Day with a lot of kids who are ages 8 through 12 about, and we're basically working on kind of inciting the love of learning for science with little kids at a young age. So we have projects that range from dropping eggs off of stairwells to just simply dropping paper helicopters from Mars, and it's just supposed to kind of introduce kids to science and show that it can be fun.
You want to put these and we'll go here. Ready?
I don't think so. Over there.
So this is the big one.
Now that we're on Mars, we're going to investigate the aliens that we find. So we're going to be doing an activity to see if you have an alien baby, and you're going to see if its parents can end up showing up in the child. So if the parents will look like the kid, or if the child will look completely different.
Right now they're doing an alien genetics project, which deals with alleles, dominant and recessive, and Punnett squares. And so they're getting an introduction to genetics in a fun way, and they're making their alien babies out of construction paper and glue.
From your mom, for this one you got a little S, so write a little S in there. And then you flip it again to see what Dad gave to the baby.
What do you have there?
A little alien baby, and it kind of looks like the Duolingo bird. I didn't try to do that, but...
Okay. Was it fun?
Yeah, it was really fun. This was meant to be a nose, but it looks like a beak. And, yeah.
It's an alien, so it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Basically just made a really weird looking alien. Based off this genetics chart that is kind of wacko, but...
What about it is wacko?
Well, the fact that his eyeball has an eyelid in his eyeball, which just I think that's a first, but yeah.
So today's activity went on to the highlight of the day, which is an egg drop. Students were asked to create a ship to take them safely back to Earth.
In this activity, we're going to be making egg drop landers, so we're going to protect our astronauts.
So far, you've landed on Mars, and then you researched genetics and DNA of your aliens, and now it's time to come back home.
And the stuff on the table is basically so the kids can come up and grab different types of materials. They can grab 6 out of the 10 materials that are here, which is nice, and they can go back to their tables and talk with their team about what they want to try to build and design something with all the materials that are given to them. But they're building like a system that can drop from like a tall spot and hold an egg while it drops without breaking the egg.
How many cotton balls?
What I'm thinking is, if we put the straws on it like a lander. No, bro, it's cool. So, I'm pretty sure this is gonna work. Oh no.
Sounds good. Are you guys ready to test it?
Yeah. Scared of Oh my I thought it was going to be a good idea, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
All right, but you made choices about a balloon and a box.
Well, the balloon might make it light, and the box might make it so that it kind of goes like wham, but it doesn't quite break. It didn't die.
Another part of their leadership role is to be hosting Science Fun Days for youth in grades 3 to 5. And that's a way for them to practice their science literacy by educating younger students. So today, they're actually hosting a Science Fun Day, and then later tonight, they're hosting a science cafe. So our science ambassadors are really contributing a lot to the science education landscape here in Vermont.
On the campus of the University of Vermont, I'm Richard Gibbs with Across the Fence.
Our thanks to Across the Fence correspondent Richard Gibbs for that report. And joining me in studio is Lauren Traister. You work with UVM Extension in the 4-H Teens and Leadership Specialist. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And as we just saw there, you work with a bunch of kids and you've been in this program for 13 years. What traits do all these students have in common to you?
Yeah, what I love about the students that come into my program is that they're self-motivated. They're choosing to be there. So what that tells me about them is that they are looking to grow their skills. They're looking to expand and build on their skills that they know that they're going to need in life. And so it's wonderful that we get to provide them these opportunities to come in and have informal learning opportunities outside of a school setting.
And to build on that a little bit, there aren't a lot of opportunities to develop leadership skills other than sporting or scouting or stuff like that. So how do you think this program fills that need?
Yeah, I mean, in Vermont, there are actually, when I started, there weren't that many opportunities, and there are now through other organizations. But like anyone, youth need to find their space. And so 4-H provides opportunities for youth that are looking for the science or leadership or animals. We offer programming that some other organizations don't. What I like is that the organizations that do offer leadership program, we all are aware of what one another are doing, and we support each other so that the youth get to choose where is the best fit for them. And we do a lot of programming, like I mentioned, in the sciences, and so we get a lot of young people who are looking to build their skills in that area, in addition to just straight up leadership skills.
And how does this program help older or maybe non-traditional learners?
Well, we use experiential learning as our model, and so a lot of young people aren't familiar with experiential learning. They're familiar with formal education, which for some students just does not work. It might be lecture, it might be here's a project, go do it. We really have our young people learn by doing, and so we want to build those skills, but then have them have real world application of the skills that they're building.
And we saw in that video you were helping them drop eggs from heights or create baby aliens, but when you're not doing that work, what else does 4-H Sciences do?
Yeah, so our science ambassadors, those are the teens you saw in the video, teaching science to younger students. So I'm mostly working with the teens, and those teens put on science cafes once a month for their peers. So we invite scientists in on a Saturday night, we serve pizza, and the science ambassadors run those cafes. But like other teens, they'll participate in a lot of the programs that I offer, like the Youth Environmental Summit or our Try for the Environment program, where we train teens to be teen teachers. They also come to discover engineering or might participate with their school in the Science Olympiad. There's a lot of programs that we offer. So they put some on, but then they also come as participants.
And how many teens are participating in the 4-H Science Ambassadors
For
program?
this year, we actually have a large group of ambassadors. We have 15, and so that's been growing each and every year. But our science cafes can have anywhere from 35 to 50 teens that come to them. Every program has a different number. You know, we have some programs that can have hundreds of participants and others that will be smaller. And so we really have the opportunity to meet young people where they're at. Some like small group experiences, and others can come to a conference with 200 or 300 people.
And what grade do you have to be in to be part of this program?
For the Science Ambassador program, the ones that are doing these fun Science Fun Days, that's for high school, 9th through 12th graders, but most of the programs that I offer will be for middle and high school students, so 7th through 12th grade. Sometimes I'll have a program for 6th on up, and then the one program I have for 5th grade on up. So it varies, but majority middle and high school.
And have you gotten any feedback about the students who've participated in these programs?
Yeah, I get a lot of feedback. Parents will often write to me thanking me for the changes that they see in their children, how amazing the opportunities are that their children are getting in these programs. I hear from the students themselves. Often they're asking me for recommendations when they're applying for college and talking about how impactful the Science Ambassador or the Teen Science program has been for them. Same with the Teen Teacher program we do. Those experiences really are amazing opportunities for our young people to build their skills, and then when they're ready to take their next step in life, whether it's job or college, to use what they've learned and talk about that experience as a means to sort of separate themselves and say, hey, look at the skills that I have, and let me talk about how I gained those skills.
And you folks have a couple events coming up. Can you tell me what those are?
Yeah, so we have a Science Cafe coming up March 23rd. I have a colleague who is also doing a STEM showcase that same day. So if someone's interested in science, they could do STEM showcase in the morning and Science Cafe at night. We have the Vermont Science Olympiad coming up on April 6th. And then our Science Ambassadors are hosting another Science Fun Day on April 13th, followed by a Science Cafe that night. So they'll be busy that day. And then I'm planning right now in the planning phases for summer. I do a big Summer of Science program where there's opportunities all summer long to engage in different science learning experiences. We have a Natural Resource Management Academy in the summer. And then we'll also be recruiting soon for next year's Science Ambassadors.
To find out about these upcoming events, visit the website on your screen. That wraps up our program for today. From the crew behind the scenes here at WCAX, I'm Jolie Whitney. Have a good one.